My name is Viktor Ivanovich, and I survived the Chernobyl disaster. I was conscript, a low-level personnel designated to protect the plant from prying eyes. Why a power plant have so much security, you may ask? Well, I know now what I didn't know then. The story goes that they were doing safety tests on an RBMK type reactor, and the cooling waters did not circulate properly, causing meltdown. Once that happened, the reactor 4 blew, and all is history. However, they never declassified the truth. I was guarding the team that was doing the experiment. You say they needed lots of power to try to open up gate. This gate was built on top of reactor 4 and took all power to turn on. You see, this was near end of USSR, and we were desperate to keep hold of the states. The army was spread thin and money was not coming. We needed an edge, and this would help. The theory went that once opened, we could harness pure energy as weapons. I was not allowed to know the rest, but we were supposed to go inside the gate to the new dimension to establish a forward operations base inside and around the gate. We were set to enter the gate when they turned it on. But that thing was waiting for us. The world spun, red and purple hued, as the gate began to open, drawing power directly from the reactor. Suddenly, it was open, and we could peer into the new dimension, the one we would conquer. It was wide open and expansive, with reddened ground and bright white sky. Our commandant ordered us into portal when we first heard it. It sounded as though it was a mix between a human wail and a guttural hiss from snake. It had found us. The blackened figure rushed our portal, letting out another scream as it ran. It was black as night, and its outline blurred the bright white sky, as though it were out of focus in a photograph. Our gunfire did nearly nothing to stop it. It burst through the gate, crashing the shell around the portal and trapping it in our world. It crawled through as the portal collapsed around. Before it could get its entire leg in the gate, it went dead. A ghastly hiss filled our ears as it screeched in pain. Then it set its eyes on us. Volleys of gunfire rang out, and our commandant was skewered by its long-reaching arms. Several of my friends were cut right through with its long-reaching swings. Nothing seemed to faze it as we fired upon it. As it flailed, I ran back for cover and into the control room as we yelled to scientists to do something to send it back or reopen gate. We soon realized that the gate had been crashed. There was no fixing it. Not with that thing flailing about. We locked doors and tried to think of what to do when all went quiet. The screams of dying and the gunfire ceased. We sat there, cowering behind the control panels for what seemed like hours. One scientist shakily asked if it had been hurt by any of the gunfire we poured onto it. My friend and I shook our heads no. Then a sharp bang broke our newly found silence. The thing had found the door and was putting dents into the metal. One scientist stated that we had one shot at this. If we could trap the steam inside the RBMK's chamber, we could create massive release of radiation and possibly kill the thing. But if we did just that, who knows what kind of damage could be done. It could be worse than when Americans bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But this creature could not be allowed to escape. The reactor was just under us. It had to be overloaded and clogged to be able to produce enough energy to melt down. My friend volunteered to go and start the meltdown while I covered scientists' escape. It was less than 5 minutes before we heard warning bells and a screech from that thing. I never did see my friend again. His record states he was killed in a freak accident, car crash, miles away. But I know he was killed at plant. After explosion, more military were stationed there. And since I was on the original team, I was sent in to recover what was left over from the gate. We wore as much protection as we could short of full lead suits. And we found the radiation, bodies with skin dripping off the bones, melted, twisted metal, and wires subjected to the extreme heat of the steam. We tagged some bodies, some with clothes fused into what was once skin, and others left burned beyond recognition. When we came to the room above reactor, we found hole eaten through the floor. On the concrete bottom of the reactor room, we found what could only be it, or what was left of it. A photo was taken, and it was dubbed the elephant's foot. This was only the classified photo authorized by government under the guise of nuclear material, and story was fabricated. As you know, the towns around were evacuated, and many disastrous things befell the people who were close. But let me be clear that had that thing lived, we would not have been able to stop it. The USSR tried numerous times to move remains of creature, but failed each time. Each time digging more of itself into a hole. They built a sarcophagus around the reactor room for radiation containment. That is a lie. In 1986, the elephant's foot moved, and they built that tomb to contain it. As they knew well, they did not have funds to recover it, so they buried it, and every once in a while, they will send a small squadron to check it. It has now moved 3 meters in years after its demise. Modern-day Russia tells us it is safe, but let it be known it is not forgotten. They are always keeping eye on it. Because if secrets were out, that would be international crisis. As for me, why do I tell you this? Because I do not care anymore. They have threatened secrecy, and they say, who will believe you? I do not care. The story will come out. Just remember this. They lied. Editor's note. 5 days after this conversation was taped in Ivanovich's home, he was found dead next to his wife in their bed. The official report documents that he had a massive heart attack and died in his sleep. He was 53 years old.